Good evening, everyone. Welcome to On Deck here on FTSN. I'm Russ Morgan. Thank you, everybody, for coming back and tuning in. We had to take a little 2 week break. A couple weeks ago, my producer had a family issue going on, so he had to step up, and we had to take that week off. So thoughts and prayers to my producer Bobby uh, for letting us. Thoughts and prayers are with him. And then obviously last week I'm here in Sarasota, Florida. We had Hurricane Milton that kind of came and ravaged us. Definitely we are direct in the eye in Sarasota. So luckily I left. I went to Orlando on Wednesday morning, but Sarasota and the surrounding area, St. Pete, Tampa, got hit pretty hard. Places south, Venice, Fort Myers with the surge because it was I guess what they call a reverse uh, spin or something. So they got all the water went south. So they're getting hit pretty hard with that surge. Definitely tough after a couple weeks of 2 weeks ago we hit with the lean, and now we get Milton, which was pretty bad. But I got out. I went to Orlando to my brother-in-law's sister house, and we had like 10 people jammed in there for the day for that night, and just kind of hunkered down there. Luckily, didn't lose power, and only had one time where we had to kind of stop up at the door for flooding issues. But besides that, not bad. Orlando, obviously, just what you want to do is go inland, but definitely Sarasota and Bradenton got hit hard. Our beaches got hit hard 2 weeks ago, and Helene, and then definitely hit hard now. So we're kind of behind the eight ball. We're gonna, our beautiful beaches here on the Gulf of Mexico are gonna take some time to need a couple facelifts. So it's tough, but luckily everybody in my family is safe. I'm safe. We had no damage. No damage to our house, no water damage, anything like that. But even when I was talking to my producer before this, at the end of the day, material stuff in your home, as much of it sucks if you lose it. The most important thing is you're safe. You're like, you're alive. You're safe. That's the most important thing. And luckily for me and all my extended family we were safe. And thank you to my brother-in-law's sister for taking me in, and it was a great time. And it's fun getting now been here a little over a year, 4 hurricanes in Florida, so I'm getting a little taste of it. But everything's safe. I do want to throw a big shout out and my ultimate gratitude to our first responders, Sean Lucas, my brother-in-law's stepfather, who's a firefighter, who was out there braving the storm when everybody was, fleeing, everybody was, evacuating, and they were out there doing the tough spot. It's tough for our job. All the linemen for Florida Power and Lighting, slowly getting our power back up. Some places don't. Some people in this network still don't have power, which is really tough. But I know they're doing an unbelievable job, and it's just trying to get it as fast as possible. But big shout out and thanks to those people to get us back. I got power on Friday night, so that was nice because Thursday was a little interesting with no power, and I missed my Yankees game on Thursday because of that. But we're full swing October baseball. It's unbelievable. You gotta love it. It's baseball's in the air, October's in the air. Having some great series. Obviously, we had the 2 wild cards where you got the Mets and the Padres came out of that. And then on the other side, you have the Royals and Tigers. It was really nice to see the Tigers get out of that. Mets actually the hottest team in baseball since June 1st. So, I mean, they're still going right now playing the Dodgers. It was for me, it was nice to see the Tigers get out because that team wasn't even, that team was, you traded Jack Flaherty during the deadline, who's now a big piece of that Dodgers starting rotation, probably one of the aces of that Dodgers rotation, and they still make the playoffs. I mean, they ended up losing the Indians, but you see Tarek Skubal that game one just guy just shoves, and the guy works from that changeup is his dominant pitch, and he goes from that. So it's beautiful to see. all my young pitchers develop that changeup. Develop that changeup because that should be your best pitch. Don't work on those off-speed pitches if you're young. Develop a strong changeup and go from there. Because I mean, me working in baseball, coaching, scouting, I don't think the young guys develop that strong changeup. They go to that curveball, they go to that slider because those are the sexy pitches. But the changeup, I mean, it gives you variation on that fastball and changes the hitter's eye. So Scooble, obviously, he'll win the Cy Young. I mean, that Padres Dodgers series was unbelievable. Obviously, won 5 games. Dodgers ended up winning the last 2 games, 4 and 5. Game 2 was obviously the big. Was it? Was it game 2? Game 2 or game 1? They're all running together now. I mean, I'm all over the place. Where Profar robs bets of that. Yeah, yes, it was game 2 of that home run, and kind of chirps a little at the fans. Obviously, the Dodgers and Padres, they got a little rivalry. Obviously, Dodgers have dominated it, but I mean, they go back and forth, and the fans started getting into it with him, and they started throwing stuff on the field. Throwing baseballs, throwing batteries. I mean, it was bad, and probably a little fire under the Padres' ass to get that game. Ended up getting game 3 in San Diego, but Dodgers, they had 20, some odd straight innings, a scoreless ball game, game 4 and 5. Kind of, game 4, they won 8-0, 10-0. I think it was 10-0. I was in the midst of a hurricane during that game. So I think it was 10-0, but I mean, they ended up getting that game. They got game 5 against the Padres. Yamamoto had a solid game, 2-0. Kike Hernandez, who's just a playoff warrior, another home run. The guy just stepped. I mean, he's just an average ball player when it's a season. But when it turns October, man turns it on, and it's just a different ball player. So I mean, they got that series. Mets, phenomenal again, just finding the way to win, getting that series up. Yankees took down the Royals in 4, looking solid, just overmatched. Pitching's looking good, bullpen's looking strong, which is really nice. Giancarlo Stanton, who I will bash Giancarlo Stanton until the day I die, but God, that guy is playing good, and if he has a great series, I'll be the first to say I bashed Stan all year long. I've bashed him his whole career at Yankees. But if he has a good series, hey, I'm wrong. I'm 100% wrong. I will take that if he plays good. Not going to say, wins this World Series. At least let's get there. I think we'll get there. I think the Indians are overmatched. On the other side, Indians, they did take care of the Tigers in 5. I think the Tigers were just, it was nice to see the Tigers in, but I think they're just, a year too early. That, maybe they weren't ready for it yet. Obviously, behind Scooble, who was the next guy? They didn't really have much, but I think it was a year early, so the Indians got that one. But right now we're in the midst of the ALCS, NLCS, which is phenomenal. Let's go. I'm going to kick it off. Obviously, we got game 3. They're kicking it off right now. We're in the pregame right now. You got Poppy. Even though he's a Red Sox, I love Poppy. He's phenomenal on the pregame. You got A-Rod. A-Rod's A-Rod. Then you got my man Derek Jeter. So I mean, I love watching the pregame. With that, Dodgers obviously 1-1, took game 1 pretty handily. Flaherty looks solid. They're getting big performances. Kike Hernandez, who obviously, Kike is, God, that guy is just October. When it turns October, it's just something goes on. Kike, he's batting 313, 353 on base percentage, 500 slugging. I mean, this guy's like a utility guy with the 500 slugging in October. It's nuts. I mean, it's insane, and he's coming up with the big home runs, every which way, and that's why the Dodgers ended up getting him back. This guy just kind of lights a fire under the Dodgers' ass once it turns October. He's a hell of a, he's a spark plug. So, I mean, and it's not like the Dodgers are getting much. They're not getting much in the way of Ohtani, who's, first player get 50-50. He's only batting 222. He hasn't looked all that great against the Mets in this series so far. They've kind of figured out how to pitch him. I think he breaks out of that, but I mean, I don't know how long you're going to silence Shohei Ohtani at the plate, but they kind of pitch him the right way, throwing him outside, working the zone a little bit, and it's worked. Only batting 222. And this is a guy, he's only one home run in the playoffs. Did get a nice hit the other day, nice double, but just silencing him a little bit. I mean, the other thing with Dodgers, Mookie Betts, as great as Mookie Betts is, for some reason, when it turns October, Mookie Betts fades a little bit. He hasn't been too good in October with the Dodgers, and it's kind of shown this year. He's only batting 192, 323 on base percentage, 462 slugging. He's got one double, 2 home runs, but I mean, it's 192. That's more from this guy who's Mookie Betts, who's if not the best player, one of the top 5 best players in baseball. I think he is the best, top 3 best player in baseball. Obviously, I thought he was the best player in baseball. Now it's probably Ohtani, just because of what Ohtani did on that national level, going 50 for 50. I don't know how, but I mean, I think Betts is a guy. Also, another thing, Betts is a guy. When I was in Orlando, my brother-in-law's nephew, 9-year-old kid, plays baseball. He'll say, I love Aaron Judge. I'm like, dude, there's one player you should. I don't. He's not on the Yankees. If you want to emulate one player in baseball, a young guy, it's Mookie Betts. I don't care if I hate the Dodgers and he was a Red Sox, and I'll hate the Red Sox to the day I die. Mookie Betts is a player a young kid should watch and want to be like, because he plays the game the right way. He does the things the right way. Big situations, he gets it done. Mookie Betts is the man. And it pains me to see him on LA. And I'll root for the Mets. Let's go Subway Series all day. I mean, I can't root for the Dodgers. But, I mean, but Mookie has not looked great. Obviously, he's 192. Muncy's been okay. Hernandez has been okay. I mean, Tommy Edman, who's kind of got shoved in, playing shortstop a little bit, with that Rojas injury, has been shoved in there. Had to play a little shortstop. He's batting 333 looking. I mean, this guy was big, kind of got shoved off from that position when he was with the Cardinals, and now he's stepping up big for the Dodgers. 333 on base percentage, 333 slugging. I mean, he's got that's pretty big. Freddie Freeman, Mr. Warrior. I mean, the 273, 304 on base percentage. You need a base knock, you go to Freddie Freeman. This is a guy. I mean, they wrote him off, and he was hurt right there, and they're like, no way he comes back. He's limping his way through these last 2 series, limping his way through, and he still finds a way to get it done. He's stealing bases, for Christ's sake. And this guy, I mean, you watch the Padres series, and he comes down, and you see, oh, God, he's got to roll that ankle. He comes down funny on the bag, high throw, and he's still in there getting base knocks, and the guy's a Gold Glove first baseman, a wall at first base. I mean, but when are the Dodgers going to get it from the big guys? Ohtani, Betts, Teoscar Hernandez, only batting 250. It was another big offseason acquisition. I mean, on the offensive side for the Mets, I mean, what can you not say about the Mets offensive side? This such a scrappy team, obviously, just got into the playoffs that last day of the season. Took 1 out of 2 from the Braves. But I mean, this isn't the normal, Mets team. This Mets team is scrappy. Obviously, you got it from Francisco Lindor, one of the best shortstop in baseball, and that guy's a pure ball player. I love Lindor. I mean, obviously, had some big home runs in that Braves game. Obviously, to get him back up, had some big home runs. Gare had a big leadoff home run, game 2 against the Dodgers. it kind of sparked them. And I mean, this Mets. I mean, you got Jose Iglesias, who's he's another guy who's almost out of baseball, ready to just go be a Latin pop star, even though he is a Latin pop star. He had the #1 Latin song on the charts there. He was ready to give it up and just go sing. And the Mets give him a shot, put him in the minor leagues. He says, I want a shot to play. Comes up, you have that injury to Jeff McNeil. He comes up, he plays solid. He's on bat 222, but defensively he's solid. So I mean, that's solid. The other one, Mark Vientos, who was a long shot to make the roster. And I mean, you had guys like Brett Beatty, who's, they thought he was the future of that starting third baseman. And Vientos, obviously, he's batting in that 3-hole. He's batting 378. And kind of, he had that grand slam the other day, game 2, where they walk Lindor to get to Vientos. Batting 2, and he hits that grand slam. He's batting 378, 410, 676 slugging, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. So, I mean, Vientos took that as a peer, just like that. That's disrespect, and he made him pay. Obviously, I mean, the outfield's solid. You got Brandon Nimmo, who's kind of down his own bat 212. I mean, you got Tyrone Taylor. Tyrod Taylor's backup quarterback for the Jets. I mean, he's in there, not having that great. Torrance High School, in Torrance, California, right around where I grew up, a couple years after me. But, I mean, the Mets just, grindy. I mean, the big offseason, you had another acquisition, and JD Martinez is not really seeing much time because you got Jesse Winker bet 267. And then you throw in Pete Alonso as obviously, against the Brewers game 3, they're like, is this Alonso's, last at bat with the Mets? Is he done? And then what does he do? He goes Oppo Taco for a little 3-run bomb. And what do you know? The Mets are right there. He's batting 241. But I mean, that's not, what you want for Alonso. You want the home runs. He's got 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, a 586 slugging percentage. So I mean, that's solid. On the Dodgers pitching side, that's on the pitching side for the Dodgers is my big question mark. Obviously, you're getting solid, a solid 1-2 with Jack Flaherty and Yamamoto, who looked phenomenal the other day against the game 5 against the Padres, but had a shaky game 1. So I think he's in line for game 4. Which actually he is in line game 4 against the Mets. Flaherty, 1-1 looking good. Yamamoto's got 8 innings. He's, his whip is 1.25, high ERA because that first Padres, but game 1 against the Padres, but he's solid. Flaherty is another guy who looked really good game 1. Obviously, he's 1-1, 12 innings pitched, 0.81 more, 2.92 ERA. So it's a solid 1-2. That's, I mean, Yamamoto, if the Dodgers need to win tonight, because Dodgers got to get one. They got to get one. I think tomorrow's their game. I don't know about, I just don't know where the Dodgers go after those two. Obviously, Walker Buehler, who's, 2 years of injuries. And when he was healthy before those injuries, one of the better pitchers in baseball, and obviously a big part of that Dodgers World Series team in 2020. But, I mean, he has not looked the same going tonight against the Mets. We'll see what he does. They got it. Obviously, you split, so these next couple games are big. You can't go down, 3-1. Yeah, 3-1 will be tough. So they got to get these next 2. I just don't know. Buehler hasn't looked the same, so I don't know. And then you're kind of getting like the bullpen game, which we saw the other day, which they got bumped out quick. Dodgers got a solid bullpen, but, I mean, I don't know. Are the Mets how taxed is that bullpen going to be? Because they knocked him out. If they knock Buehler out quick, they're going to need a solid, 7 innings from Yamamoto. We'll see what Buehler does tonight. I mean, how Buehler's look on the reverse side. The Mets, obviously, get a solid performance from Sean Manaea the other day, going 6 innings. Manaea's looked solid 2-0 in the playoffs. His whip is 1.265 ERA. Obviously, tonight you got Luis Severino, former Yankee. I mean, he's looked good in the playoffs too. He's 1-0, 12 innings pitched. His whip's 1.33. It's 4.5 ERA, so it's a little higher, but he's looked good. But who's that next guy? Quintana's looked okay, decent against the Padres, but I don't know. We got 10 minutes going, so lock in, people, lock in. I'll be locked in. I'll be talking here, watching baseball, which it don't get better than that. And I've always said, I said it on our podcast, our Touchdown in Paradise podcast, talking all things college football here on FTSN last night. October is the best time for sports. You got college football in the swing of things. You got the NFL. You got NHL just started up. You got NBA right around the corner. And then you got October baseball. I mean, it's just the mecca of sports. You got to love it. But, I mean, we got Severino going tonight, so that's going to be a big – it's going to be a big – we need a big – Mets need a big performance from him. Quintana's, he's 11 innings pitched, high 0 ERA. So, I mean, he's looked solid, 6 hits. The bullpens look solid. Obviously, Diaz got a big, had to make it interesting in the game too, but still find a way to get it out. This game will be big. I think the Mets can pull it out. And I'm probably sure Alex Rodriguez probably saying the same thing. He picked the Mets to win. So I mean, I'm not sure what he's saying because it's on mute right now. But I'm sure he's saying the same thing right now. It was great to see. I was watching a little before. I was talking to my producer. It was unbelievable. Doc was on there. Doc Goodson and Darryl Strawberry, two Met legends, obviously played for the Yankees, but they're Mets legends. Winning that '86 World Series. Great to see Doc out there doing good. He's had battles with addiction, so it's great. But what I want this series. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be a nightmare either way. I think the Yankees are just, my opinion, can make the World Series. I think they're too good. I'm going to be stressed out of my mind, but I probably want to see a Subway Series in my opinion. I don't really want to see the Dodgers, but whoever it is, I want this to go 7. Let's just Yankees get them out in 4 and 5. And let's go 7 and just work the shit out of their bullpen. Everybody can be tired as hell to come to New York and start that World Series off. But I think baseball's kind of winning right now. If you get Dodgers, Yankees, 2 big media markets, that's going to be a big poll. You get Dodgers, Yankees, Mets, Subway Series. That's big numbers. That's big viewing numbers. So I think they win. Obviously, I don't think they won't say it. I don't think MLB baseball is rooting for the Guardians to make it. But on the other side of the bracket in the AL, we got Yankees. They're up 2-0 on. They're up. They won the first 2 games of that series, obviously, of the Indian series. Obviously, took care of the Royals in 4. Won 5-2 on a Monday night, and then last night won 6-3. Great pitching performance from Clay Holmes. Came in there in tough situation. Carlos Rendon, game 1, lights out. I think he had 10-11 Ks. Was amazing. So that was great to see because they need him. Cole was a little shaky last night. He looked solid through 4 and then kind of got a little shaky after had a solid couple innings. It was a little shaky and I wasn't too good, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, I just, in my opinion, I think the Guardians, excuse me. I was about to say the Indians. Poppy did it too on everybody does it. But I think they're a little overmatched. I just think it's too much. Obviously, Gleyber Torres, who has just been a spark as his game's changed, got thrown in that leadoff spot and has been great this postseason. He's batting 292, 433. Obviously, kicked it off yesterday with the leadoff single. You got Soto in the 2-hole, who's batting 350. I mean, Juan Soto, you can't not love this guy. Guy finds a way to get it on no matter what. And you're not getting much from Judge. Judge has not done much until last night. In my opinion, I think Judge is going to start. So he's starting to see the ball the last couple games. He's starting to square up the ball a little bit, which is great to see. But he's struggling. He's another guy like Mookie Betts. He has not had great Octobers, and he's batting 167. Obviously, got that first home run, which was big because if he didn't get that home run, it would have been 4-3 going into the ninth instead of 6-3. So that was a big 2-run home run that kind of maybe just hit a little wind stream, just kept on going, which is great. Austin Wells, who's a wall behind the plate and has been phenomenal, but he has not been able to find his swing. And he's batting .83, on base percentage 154. So we're really going to need something from him. Stanton, who's been, I'm singing Stanton's praise. Keep it up, knock on wood. Giancarlo Stanton's been phenomenal. Guy's batting 304. He's got 7 hits so far in this. He's got 7 hits in the series. 385 on base, 652 slugging. He's got 5 RBIs. He's got 2 home runs. And he really did in game 3 against the Royals. He came up big. He was the whole offense against the Royals, and he's kept on going. He's swinging a hot bat, which is great to see. Verdugo's another guy. I was all ready for Jason Dominguez. I'm like, I don't want to see Verdugo in there. Give me Jason Dominguez. Verdugo's another guy who's coming up with a big hit. Last night, we had RBI. What does he do? He just a little baseball goes Oppo right down the line for a double. He gets it done, gets the RBI. Solid, been good defensively. Verdugo's having a solid series. 250, 348 on base. 300 slugging. It's been solid. Volpe may be picking it up, doing what Volpe does. He just, he was. I like to see yesterday. What does he do? 2 strikes, bam. He just chokes up a little bit, bam, right up the middle. I love to see that. And the other guys, you got Rizzo. A journeyman getting it done. But he's doing it with 2 fractured fingers on his glove hand. Who, we didn't even know if he was going to play in the series, but he's back. He's batting 429 and then had a hell of a double the other day. 429, 500 on base, 571 slugging. So Rizzo's finding a way to get it done. From bottom of the order, Chisholm's looks okay. Bad pick, got picked off yesterday, but Chisholm's been solid defensively. Solid defensively at third base, which is something the Yankees always need. On the Indian side, I just think they're overmatched. Steven Kwan's he's been 448, but I think they're overmatched this series. Jose Ramirez maybe gets going, had a home run the other day. Maybe that gets him going. Obviously, one of the better players in baseball. You probably put him in the Hall of Fame. Obviously, maybe I would put him in there. He's had an unbelievable career, but 167. I don't know who they get it. Obviously, Elaine Thomas, 9 RBIs. Bo Naylor. Let's talk about Bo Naylor. That guy couldn't block a nosebleed the other day against the Yankees. And that guy's bouncing balls left and right. Comes in, he can't find the zone. He's bouncing balls. It's going every which way on Naylor. And he's just getting abused. They had a big one. David Fry came in, he can't throw, came in, popped one up big. On the pitching side, I've been talking about it all year. I think on the Indians pitching side, you got Matthew Boyd, who will probably be their dude. He struggled. He'll probably be their guy. Was solid against the Tigers, but they're going to need big one. Tanner Bybee is how you correctly say the name. I said BB before, it's Bybee. Only got out of, was an inning and a third yesterday. So I mean, you see game 1 and 2. Who was the game 1 starter? It was Cobb? It's only 5 innings, so wasn't great. Bybee gets out in an inning third. You get to that bullpen quick, and it goes bad. So I think that bullpen's going to get taxed. Another name from a guy from a high school right around me, Peninsula High School in Palos Verdes, California, right up the street from where I grew up. Eli Morgan, no relation. Eli Morgan, guy from high school around me. I think he graduated, might have been 2014, 2013. Not. But I mean, I just think they're overmatched and that bullpen's getting taxed. On the Yankees side, we obviously, we took the first 2 games against the Indians. Cole kind of struggled. Rendon, who's had a not great first outing, looked really solid the other day, going 6 innings. I'll look up the stats for Rendon because it was a solid pitching performance for Rendon the other day. Trying to look up the stats, and it's gonna mess. It's not gonna. But I'm not. Whoa! I'm watching this right now. Popped up. This is Luis Severino's record at home this year: 7-2. Obviously, Luis Severino goes 6 innings in the first game, 1 of the wild card. Goes 6 innings in the NLDS against. So that's big. They're starting it off. Shohei. I don't know. Anybody out there, would anybody bet? If you can bet legally in your state, Shohei Ohtani at plus 240 to hit a home run, hit a first home run. Anybody? No, I mean I wouldn't. Not right now. I maybe it's because I'm cheap, and I want to bet the full game to be in the whole thing. And he grounds out right off the bat. That's a good start. Grounds out to Pete Alonso right off the bat. Severino, 1 pitch, 1 out. But I mean, I think I'm really my biggest question mark for the Yankees, because I think they win this series. I think they get in 5. I would say the Indians probably get 1 game at home. Was their bullpen, and their bullpens look solid. You put Clay Holmes, who's take him out of the starting pit, the closer spot, and he's looked solid. Obviously, came in big yesterday when they needed him, and got out of a big logjam. Luke Weaver's looked unbelievable. The guy, and that's another guy who's his changeup is he goes from that changeup. Maybe it's because he's a starting pitcher and doesn't have that closer mentality, but he's finding the way to get it done. Obviously, he's got 4 saves, but it was big. Their bullpens look solid. There's a question mark. Obviously, Yankees, Indians tomorrow. What time's that game tomorrow? Is it 8 o'clock start? What time are we tomorrow? 5 Yankees, Guardians, 8 Dodgers, Mets, 5 p.m. Eastern, and 8:08 Eastern and 5:08 Eastern on TBS and FS1. But their bullpens look solid, which it was always a big question mark for us. And Luke Weaver has kind of solidified that closer spot. And we got Mookie just whoa. That was a little outside. That was a little outside. Let me see where. Oh, give him a little. They gave him a corner. I don't know about that. Good frame job by Alvarez. Wow, that was a good inch off the plate. They gave him a little leeway. Corey will never answer in just a moment. giving a little leeway on that. They got the corner. I'm really locked at. I mean, I think this Mets Dodgers series is going to be a really solid series. That really solid. I think this is gonna be a long series. I mean, Mets. I mean, that was a grindy, just a grindy team that gets it done, uh, and finds a way to get it done. Obviously, you're leaded by Francisco Lindor, who could, if Otani doesn't have such a great year, uh, he would definitely be the NL MVP. But Otani's obviously got that locked in the bag. But I think this. I'm hoping 7 games because I want the most. I want being a diehard Yankees fan. I want 7 games. I want them to get worn out. So, but I mean, 1, 2, 3 for Severino. That's big. Nice start. What do you get? Two Ks. So that's big for him. But I don't know where I'm going with the Dodgers Mets. I think this could go either way for this series. I have no clue. I'm going to be zoned in basically right when I hop off. Yankees, I think we get them at 5. So I think we're coming to New York. Got Clark Schmidt going tomorrow. Luis Heel going game 4. I got the utmost confidence. I mean, and with the Yankees, I hope Aaron Judge. Once Aaron Judge gets going, that offense is going to get going. Obviously, Aaron Judge really hasn't got going with that offense, and still got the first 2 games. But we got Heel going tomorrow. Schmidt, then Heel. Schmidt going tomorrow. Obviously, we got the Dodgers right now, Dodgers Mets. So, I mean, that should be a great game. Severino, Walker Buehler, I'm locked in. Big names. You got Francisco Lindor, Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. I mean, I'm ready for a nice 7-game series. Go 7. Go as many games. Go 7 games. I want that. Yankees get them in 5. Let's go wear out that bullpen. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. After a couple week hiatus, I'm Russ Morgan here on FTSN. This is On Deck. You guys have a great night. Please remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Good night.